All right, Kenman here, and today we continue with the Mr. Eddie sponsored knife collection. Another one made in the USA, Hinderer knives. What are we getting into today? Before we start, I'm not usually sponsored by anyone. I usually purchase everything at retail price. I do these things because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. I say usually because in this case, this is a sponsored video. I do not get to keep this knife, but Mr. Eddie has so graciously loaned me about a dozen knives that are amazing, beautiful knives that I may not otherwise have been able to see and handle and experience. And so I get to check them out for a few weeks, test them a little bit, enjoy them, share them with you, and then I'll box them back up and ship them back out to them. But it's real nice to be able to have this opportunity. I appreciate Mr. Eddie. Like I said, I've got a link for his Instagram down in the description below. He is also a knife maker. This is one of the knives that he made. Isn't it gorgeous? If you're interested in purchasing a Mr. Eddie knife, you can check that Instagram page out and see a lot of the stuff from his collection and stuff that he makes and part of the process as he does it and all in between. Let's go. We have a Hinderer Knives 2018 Blade Show Most Innovative American Design. The Eclipse 3.5 Magna Cut Swedge Spear Stone Wash Bronze. Let's check this thing out. So there's some extra scales. I believe he took this scale off and swapped on the one that is currently on the knife. There it is. I'm going to set that down, see what else is in the bag. We've got instructions on how to change the tri-way pivot system. Hand assembled and tuned. Special card. And then different sets of bearings if you want bearings or washers or how you want to do it, nylon and whatever ones are in here now. All right, there it is. Hinderer Eclipse. Wow, like I said, that's the scale that he put on there. Got that bronze back. Let's open it up. Boom. Ooh, baby. What's everyone think about this? Who has a Hinderer? Comment below. You have one? What do you think about them? Which one do you want if you don't have one? Let's soak it in for a moment here. I do like this scale that he's got on there. It's kind of a maroon, dirty kind of a look. I dig it. Really nice looking Magna Cut blade there. Crazy looking shape. Then you've got the back side. USA Magna Cut right there on the blade. Got a little signature mark there. And then the Hinderer on that side. Pretty simple. Doesn't distract too much with the branding on there. Maybe the USA distracts a little bit, but a lot of people will say, oh, that's a positive distractor. Say, boom, look at that. USA made. Quality stuff right there. Flipper tab. And then it has these, I was talking to someone on my live talking about these thumb studs, and they were saying they aren't really actually thumb studs. They're the stop pins basically for the blade as it comes up, which they do act as that. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm out of focus there. Boom. So those are like the stop. But at the same time, it is there, and I can put my thumb on that and use it to open it. So, I mean, call it what you will. Flipper tab does work really nice. Let's see if I can fail it. Try to push it super light. Yep, I can. It doesn't have a huge detent. I can feel like it gets pretty close. Then it kind of falls in. Wouldn't say it's the strongest in the world. But if you don't, I mean, you barely have to try and it will flip out. But if you do that real light kind of push, you can kind of get it to just fall. So the detent in that case, I guess, could be stronger if that's a desire that you prefer. But I mean, these Hinderers, people love these knives. They're all about them. It feels great in the hand. That you're forcing that first finger there, second there, and then kind of falling back. But my hand, it fits nice. Kind of this groove swoops down, a couple of big jimps right there. Your thumb kind of sits in that, or at least my thumb feels right at home in this handle. It's designed specifically to fit my hand. I should keep it, right, Mr. Eddie? Everybody enjoy these unboxings of these cool knives that I wouldn't necessarily be able to check out? Press that like button. Subscribe if you would like to see more. Good looking knife though. Blade is centered and is as solid as it, geez. Nice and solid. Like I said, there's just 3 little jimps on there, but the angle that it's got and that little scoop, so your thumb kind of rides up a little bit, that kind of helps it kind of feel like it's stuck in there. Nice kind of a feeling. Yeah, that liner lock sometimes can get tight. Just trying to make observations. I did carry it one day. I noticed that sometimes if you flip it out strong, that liner will pop in there pretty good. And the access, if you look, it's pretty much the exact same on both sides. Sometimes they'll cut this side out a little deeper than that side, especially now in the case where the sides aren't the same. We are not matching here. This is obviously a different material. So why not carve this edge out just a little bit more to make that access, like right there. See, I kind of just slide right across because I'm not really getting down into it. Versus there is just a little bit of a, if you look right inside there, you can see they have, let's focus, there is a little bit of a scoop inside there, but it's not as much access. I feel like they could have made that access just a little bit better. Maybe I'm nitpicking here on an absolutely gorgeous, wonderful knife. People would be like, shut up, knife is perfect. Could be. Everyone's got different tastes though and different things. I'm just saying I notice when I go across there sometimes I am not engaging it well because it's like literally the exact same height right there and you're not able to kind of get down into it as well. Boom. Pocket clip cannot be swapped to the other side. Looks like there's no hole or anything for a lanyard, so no love for the lanyard people, which I am not, so no bother to me really. Yeah, let's do some measurements here. Okay, full size for sure we are. Pushing 8 3/8 tip to tip. Blade could easily be 3 5/8. They could almost want to call it 3 6 or 7/8 if they really wanted. Looking at about a 3.5 inch cutting surface with a little bit of a curved belly right at the front. And 4 5/8. You could almost make it 4 3/4 on that handle if you wanted to. Definitely a full sizer. Most of the knives in this range, this is between 11 and 12. We are looking at 16. Quite thick, but it looks thin because of this kind of secondary cut right there. So it's like up, if I go all the way up there, we're looking at 0.0809. If I go down to that middle, it is 15. So it definitely gets thicker. And then that little tip right there, you can see on the tip where it's got that extra weight and thickness, 0.15. So it is a thicker stock, even though they make it look thin. Handles usually about a 1/2 inch, 0.53, a little bit thicker than the standard. So fairly average as far as that size for where we're sitting. All right. Feels like it's kind of a heavier knife. Definitely 5.14. I compare everything with the Pyrite 3.67. So this Hinderer 5.14, but it's definitely, the Pyrite's not quite a full size. So it's definitely got a little beef on that. We'll go ahead and do that comparison right now. Like I said, who likes Hinderers? We got any Hinderer lovers out there? Tell us what you love about them. Which ones are great? If you've got this one, what turns you on and off about them? So yeah, this isn't quite full size, the pyrite, but I use it because it's a pretty common knife that everyone should be familiar with if they're in the knife world. It's a good 1/2 inch or more on the shoulder, on the front and the back. So it definitely, Hinderer is a full size knife compared to this pyrite is definitely a little bit smaller. Excuse me. I'm also noticing there's these jimps on this side right down here that I didn't see before. Kind of help that bottom of that hand keep from sliding off right there. They're nice and sturdy. If you wanted to do some comparisons with something that's similar but nowhere near the cost, but you want something that's kind of nice and fun, maybe you might be interested in a Kubi Femius. It has that same kind of a liner lock, frame lock kind of a action, drops shut really good. You can flick this out with that filler hole really nice. Flipper tab also works pretty good. And size-wise, they're about the same. So I'm trying to grab a couple knives I have that could be considered comparable, only you can buy significantly more of these than you can for one of those. But the Femius is around that $40 to $60 range. It's a nice knife. It's solid. It works good. Feels good in the hand. Might be something to check out. Another one would be the Civivi Backlash. This one's actually only 30 bucks. Added a little bit more because I put that anodized titanium clip. I do some anodizing and some customizing work on the channel, so added that one on there. It comes with these colored liners, but in a way kind of a similar style knife with that flipper tab, shape-wise. Obviously, you could buy a dozen of these or more before you're buying that Hinderer, so price-wise is different. But, you know, you got to show all types. Some people can afford that Hinderer. Someone might really like it, but they're like, Kenman, what could I get that would be comparable as far as just feels good in the hand and I can use it, but I really only can afford less than $100? Well, something like this Civivi Backlash might be it. Check out a video on it up there. But yeah, everyone's got a price limit, and maybe you can get into this Hinderer. I appreciate Mr. Eddie for letting me check those out. You can check out his link down below. Otherwise, if you can afford something around 30, 40 bucks, maybe get into the Civivi. Stay sharp. I'll see you soon.